This is the Greenup Beacon News Magazine, a presentation of the Greenup Beacon and First and People's Bank and Trust. Also brought to you by Stoltz Pharmacy, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, Carmen Funeral Home, Meredith Chiropractic Office, and Tanya Pullen, State Representative. Your host today, Brittnany Hoback, along with co-host Hank Bond and editor and producer Keith Adkins. This is an exclusive presentation of the Greenup Beacon, GreenupBeacon.com, and GreenupBeacon2.com.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Greenup Beacon Video News Magazine. I am your host, Brittnany Hoback, and today we are broadcasting from the Hoback House. We have a great show planned for you today. First up, I will be interviewing Tim Baldridge, who is the owner of Captain Hook Towing and the I-64 Motorplex. We also have planned segments with Ryan Arnett, who is the manager of Firm Fitness at the Bellefonte Pavilion, and also Lonnie Winters, who is the owner and the massage therapist at El Massage, who is also located at the Bellefonte Pavilion. And today we will be making the sweet and spicy zucchini relish from the kitchen. So stay tuned and we'll be back in just a moment.
First and People's Bank has 6 convenient locations to serve you. From South Shore to the main office, First and People's Bank has been serving this area with complete banking services since 1932. Visit the home office near you. First and People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We are the home office. Come visit any of our 6 locations.
The fine people at Carmen Funeral Home have been working with families in need for over 100 years. Carmen Funeral Home offers compassionate and caring services to those in their time of need, from pre-arrangement to final arrangements. With 2 convenient locations in Flatwoods and Russell, Carmen Funeral Home, putting people first since 1913.
Stoltz Pharmacy is now offering patients compounding for their prescription needs. Stoltz Pharmacy is the only pharmacy in the area that is PCCA certified. We can provide you with hormone replacement, neuropathy creams, scar creams, pediatric prescriptions, and we can even help you with your veterinarian needs. If you have any questions, please call 606-834-1052. That's 834-1052. Stoltz Pharmacy in Greenup, Flatwoods, and Wheelersburg. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stoltz Pharmacy.
Hello everyone, we are back and I am here with Tim Baldridge, who is the owner of Captain Hook Towing. So Tim, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and all the different, jobs that you have had over the years. We were talking a little bit earlier and you've had quite the array of jobs.
Well, the longest I've had has been on the Russell Fire Department for 32 years now. I was a policeman in Bellefonte for 12 years. I've been doing the Captain Hook Towing since 1990. Worked for the city of Russell for 27 years, retired from the city, and now owner of Drag Strip in Owensville, Kentucky.
Wow. Now, I hear that you have a nickname of Buzzard. Can you tell me how you got this nickname of Buzzard?
I have no idea. That was done when I was a kid. All the guys were playing, and I got stuck with that name. I have no idea.
And then everyone calls you Buzz?
Hey, Buzz. Everybody calls me Buzz.
Yes.
That's
to this day.
To this day, especially. Everybody on the fire department, work, wherever.
So it's stuck.
It's stuck.
All right. So now you have actually been here to my house a few times with Captain Hook Towing. You have saved us on numerous occasions. I know one occasion we had just got the remote starter for my husband's car installed, and so you can start the car from inside the house and it warms up and it's really nice. But the problem is when you go out there and you open the door, and then what the problem was is we left our keys laying on the seat, and then when you shut the door, it locks back. And we had our son's Science Olympiad stuff loaded in the car, and we were going to take it to Maysville for a competition. And it was about 5 o'clock in the morning, and of course my husband was ready to crack the window to get in because we had to get to that competition. And I said, oh no, I said, Captain Hook was out here last week because I locked the keys in the car. I said, we'll just give him a call, and you came out and saved the day for us bright and early that morning.
We do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Actually, on the way here, I had a very unusual unlock.
And what was that?
I unlocked a hearse.
Oh, nice.
So,
Nice. So, how long have you been in business with the Captain Hook Towing?
since 1990.
Since 1990. Yeah, that's quite a long time for
Yeah,
that.
thank
Yes. And what types of services do you offer with the towing company?
We do, of course, towing, unlocks. I've had a deal, do an unlock if the child's locked in the vehicle. I don't charge.
Okay.
It's free. I do not charge for that. That's, you know. We do impounds. Probably 80% of my work are police oriented. We do DUIs, wrecks, just for the cities, and of course we do a lot of public towing also.
Sure. Now, I'm sure that, you know, with a lot of those wrecks and, of course, with DUIs and things like that involved, you know, I'm sure you've probably seen a lot of nasty, terrible wrecks and things like that.
I've seen some stuff that I really like to not remember.
Sure.
So sometimes at night it's hard to go to bed.
Yeah, I can imagine.
After
you know.
coming in off of an accident, if you're out half the night on an accident, or if you're out in the cold, rain, whatever.
Yeah, kind of make you, you know, sometimes I have a new driver in the house, and, you know, I kind of wish that he could see some of those, you know, at least one or two of these wrecks to be like, you know, this is why you don't drive fast in the rain. This is why you don't drink and drive. And, you know, this is why you need to be a defensive driver because, you know, you're not in a German tank.
We've supplied wrecked vehicles for like over to high school, the proms, the wrecked cars and stuff. We've supplied those a lot of times to try to get the point across to the youngsters.
Sure, absolutely.
Not to, you know,
Yeah,
not to drink and
absolutely.
drive, not to speed and drive.
So, how many employees do you have working for you with Captain Hook Towing?
Right now there's 3.
3, okay. And you guys have the big trucks there that says Captain Hook Towing on it.
We have 3 trucks.
Okay, great. Now, what are some interesting towing stories or interesting, I guess, I'm sure you've seen it all. I mean, so what are a good funny story?
The most unusual calls I got, I could not tow it. It wouldn't fit. It was a horse.
A horse?
A horse. Russell Police impounded a horse back in the 80s. So we went up on the highway and led this horse to the impound lot, and that's where he stayed. The horse said, it's good. He ate the grass. And
Of
weeds
course,
and
you didn't have to mow,
Right.
you know, so,
And,
wow.
yeah.
So a horse, interesting. And now did the owner come and pick this horse
Right,
up?
yeah, they come and picked it up. Actually, the lady that was on the horse had stole the horse and was drunk and riding down 23 on this horse from out on Route 5.
Nice. Nice. So any interesting stories about wrecks or any like where there's just been, you just couldn't believe it once you saw it, like how this ended up that way?
Oh, yeah, there's some that's very unexplainable.
Sure.
There's no way you can figure out how it went, especially if the people are not at the capacity to talk to you and tell you what happened.
Sure. You and I were speaking before the interview, and you said something about the one where there was a car on top of another one in a garage.
Yeah, it went through the side window of the garage, and the gentleman, older gentleman, meant to hit the brake, hit the gas, and he shot up inside the garage through the side window, facing the house. You could tell there's nothing wrong. And if you raise the garage door, and there sat a Ford on top of a Chevrolet.
Nice. That would have made an excellent commercial.
It would. It was very challenging.
Yeah,
To
I
get it out
bet.
without tearing anything up other than the cars.
Exactly.
Very challenging.
All right, well, that's great. So next up, we're going to take a commercial break, but then we're going to talk about your other business at the I-64 Motorplex. So we'll be back in just a moment.
When I see the sunrise in the morning, when I feel the wind blow across my face, when I hear
At Meredith Chiropractic, you will enjoy state-of-the-art chiropractic facilities and discover the true wellness lifestyle. Dr. Terry Meredith is a member of Great Doctors of Chiropractic and has helped many in the Ashland area experience natural healing without surgery or drugs. If you're looking for a skilled chiropractic doctor, visit meredithchiropractic.com, call 329-8158, or visit Dr. Meredith's office at 2120 Carter Avenue in Ashland.
Bellefonte Hospital, our patients are priority number one. For the 7th straight year, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital has received HealthGrade's Outstanding Patient Experience Award. The hospital continues to place in the top 5% of the nation for outstanding patient experience. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital says thank you to our patients for this People's Choice honor. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, on a mission of good health for you and your family.
I'm back, and again, we were talking with Tim Baldridge, the owner of Captain Hook Towing, and he also has a second business, which is the I-64 Motorplex. So can you tell me a little bit about that business and where it is located?
It is a drag strip. It's in Bath County, Kentucky, Owingsville.
Okay.
It's right on 64, exit 123. You look to your right on 64, you can't miss it.
It's just right there.
It's right there, right beside the interstate. You cannot miss it.
So you said it's a drag strip, so I assume all you do there is drag race.
Drag race.
Okay.
Yes.
And so how often are these races?
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday?
Every Saturday, weather permitting.
Weather permitting. Okay. What time do the races start?
The races start at 2 o'clock.
Okay. And how long do they last?
Usually till midnight.
Wow. So it's a pretty busy day.
Right. Very busy.
Wow, that's awesome. And so, I mean, how often, so you have a lot of races from 2 until midnight, and so you obviously have several people down there racing.
Several people, and usually on average, I'm going to say probably 70 to 80 cars.
Wow. Racing.
Racing.
No
yes.
kidding. So who can race then? I mean, is this a professional? Is this just amateur? Anybody can race.
Anyone. We have classes at 4 different classes. Anyone, if you yourself would like to bring your family vehicle, more than welcome.
Just go down there and just race.
Just go down and just race.
No kidding.
And
so it's cars? Can you race 4-wheelers? Or is it just cars?
Just cars or motorcycles.
Motorcycles.
SUVs.
Okay.
4 wheels. And like I said, of course, motorcycles.
Okay, because like, I know this might sound kind of silly, but being a girl, but at our fairgrounds back in Marshall County, they did have, drag racing, but then they also had a 4-wheeler class. And actually my sister and I did drag race our 4-wheelers. We had like racing bikes and
right,
we did
well
that.
those are mostly done on dirt.
Sure.
Where our racetrack is asphalt.
Is asphalt, okay, so there's the difference there. Exactly. So now so is it like when you do the drag racing and then this person wins this race, is it kind of like an elimination system, or how does this work?
Right, they return back in the next round against the other winners.
Okay.
As they're eliminated one at a time, they'll come back, the winners run each other.
Okay.
Until we get
all the way to the end.
Usually 6 to 7 rounds of racing.
Okay.
Per class.
Per class, and you said there was 4 classes? Okay, so what is the class differentiation?
You got top ET, which is the very advanced, the faster cars. Then you got the BT2, the no box, which is a slower deal. Then you have a sportsman, which is just a slightly modified type car. Then you got street.
Okay.
Totally.
No modification.
No modifications
whatsoever.
We kind of lean toward the high school kids.
Sure. Oh, great. So I assume then there's no real age limit then. Obviously you have to have a driver's license.
Driver's license, only requirement. And I have 10 employees there. So, and we're there with them if they need information on what to do, how to do it. We will actually stop the show and help them through.
Yeah.
Show them what to do.
That is so awesome. So how long have you had the Motorplex?
This is my 3rd year.
This is your 3rd year. So have you always been interested in the drag racing circuit, I guess?
I've drag raced since I've been 16.
Yeah.
I have 2 cars myself.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And so do you race every
Yeah.
Saturday?
No, not every Saturday. I would like to.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I don't get the chance, but probably twice a month I get my car out and they let me play.
They let you play,
Yeah,
huh?
let me play. Yeah.
Well, that's so exciting. I'm actually going to have to come down and check this out. Like I said, grew up on tractor pulls and drag racing and all that fun stuff, and I love it when it's loud and, you know, and all that fun stuff. So I am going to have to come down and check this out. Definitely. Definitely. So do you have any upcoming races or upcoming events that, you know, you would like to talk about here?
We have special events, usually 2 a month. Of course, we run a point system all year long, and we're part of the International Hot Rod Association. We're a track member, and we go to the team finals, which is in Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, cool.
The 1st of October, we'll take a group down there and compete against 14 other racetracks.
Oh, wow.
So, do that.
So you said you have a point system. So so then the points have to then qualify to then
Right,
go on
right.
to these.
You got to qualify with so many points, and then we go into the ladder sheets and say who wants to go.
Okay. So if people were interested in coming down to drag race, how do they get a hold of you, or is there a website?
Website i64motorplex.com.
Okay.
My cell phone, which is everybody has that.
Okay.
Everybody has my cell phone number.
So just in case, what is your cell phone number?
606-571-1314.
1314. All right, great. So they can get a hold of you if they have any questions about this, and of course, if they lock their keys in their car, they need towing, if they need a horse inbound.
Yeah, or if they have a towaway, someone leaves an abandoned vehicle on their property, we do those.
All right, great.
So I try to cover every base I can.
Sure. Well, it's a great service to have. I mean, you know, because you never know, you know, what you're going to run into, especially since horses aren't off the list.
No, nothing that's been off the list.
Exactly.
I've actually done a bulldozer and a semi-truck.
So yeah, so really nothing is off the list.
Right.
Well, we really appreciate, you know, your services, and this Motorplex, I-64 Motorplex is a really interesting thing, and I am definitely going to have to go down and check that out.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
If you've never been. We have a good concession stand. We have very reasonably priced food, good food.
Great. Yeah, and so are there, like, I assume, like grandstands or bleachers and things like that?
We have bleachers set in.
Okay, and parking there?
Parking, we can park them up next to the fence, so they actually don't have to get out of their vehicle if they don't want to.
Okay.
We broadcast with their own radio station, so they can sit in their car and listen to the races on it. Right.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I am definitely going to check that out, and thank you so much for coming here today and talking about your businesses, and I wish you all the best of luck with both of them. And I really appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks so much. And we'll be back in just a moment.
First and Peoples Bank has 6 convenient locations to serve you. From South Shore to the main office, First and Peoples Bank has been serving this area with complete banking services since 1932. Visit the home office near you. First and Peoples Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We are the home office. Come visit any of our 6 locations.
The fine people at Carmen Funeral Home have been working with families in need for over 100 years. Carmen Funeral Home offers compassionate and caring services to those in their time of need, from pre-arrangement to final arrangements, with 2 convenient locations in Flatwoods and Russell. Carmen Funeral Home, putting people first since 1913.
Hello everyone, I'm Brittnany Hoback, and today I'm here at Chrome Fitness at the Belfort Pavilion with manager Ryan Arnett. So how are you today, Ryan?
I'm great today. It's Monday, but so far so good.
Yeah, Mondays are tough. Mondays are, although I have to say that I always, when I start into my new workout plan, I have to start on Monday. And if you happen to miss a Monday, then it's like, oh, I gotta wait till next Monday.
Well, that's probably why it's always the busiest day of the week.
Exactly. All right, so how long have you been in business here with Chrome Fitness?
This is our 5th year at Chrome Fitness.
5th year. Now, you haven't always been here in the Bellefonte Pavilion, correct?
Well, we have as a Firm Fitness. They used to do the community fitness at the Vitality Center, and then we separated. Now we're Firm Fitness, we're our own entity here.
Okay, great. And what sorts of different programs do you offer to people who are coming in here to be members of Firm Fitness?
Well, we do offer group classes such as Zumba, Pilates, yoga, things like that. To me, one of the biggest things we do is a lot of personal training. We try to individualize it for that person, so to make sure they get what they want out of it.
And especially that's important whenever you have someone who's not been as, I guess a visual gym member.
We try to keep them on the straight and narrow.
Exactly. If you're getting back into it, I think it's always nice to have a personal trainer to kind of walk you through everything. And you always get magazines and things like that out here that have all sorts of different exercises and things like that in that you want to try, but it's kind of hard to read a magazine's description of an exercise.
It is.
To bring it, I'm always like, put your right foot arm in and left back, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, well, I'm big on everybody's different.
Sure.
The magazine is very general, so again, you and I are both different, so us reading the same article may not be the best fit.
Sure. Now, what is the cost of an annual membership here?
A general membership for a single would be $300 per person for a year, or we can deduct it as $30 a month. Each additional person is typically $50 a month or $150 a year.
Okay, so these are other members of your family.
Right,
okay.
right. And then seniors would be they'd be $250 a year or $40.
Okay, and so then you get a little thing to put on your keychain, and you buzz in, and it says, "Enjoy your workout," which is great. So, what are the hours of operation here?
Typically through the week, we open at 5:30 in the morning for the early birds.
I'd love to be one of those.
Me too. I usually am drinking my coffee as they come in.
Yeah, exactly.
But, so 5:30 in the morning, then 8:30 at night through the week. On Saturdays, we are 8 to 4.
Okay.
Sundays 1 to 6. So 7 days a week. No excuses.
No excuses not to get in here and get a workout in when you got to open 7 days a week. So if people are wanting to find you, do you have a website, do you have a Facebook page that people can sort of follow the different things that are going on and class schedules? Yes and yes. Woo!
We do have a Facebook page. It's Firm Fitness at the Bellefonte Pavilion. And then also we do have a web page. The easiest way I found to get to it is if you go to the Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital webpage. It's wellbh.com.
Okay.
There's actually some big pictures there. You'll see one of our trainers actually introducing some clients on the treadmill.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Click on that. You can find our aerobic schedule or hours of operation, prices, things like that.
And because the schedule always changes too. I mean, you have the high season, you have the low season, and so those classes become more and then become less depending on the flux of the people.
In the season. Yeah.
In the season, exactly. January is always a hot month.
It is.
January, February, then it kind of starts to die down after everybody's New Year's resolution has sort of died off.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. All right, and what is the phone number here? Also, too, if you want to call in.
606-324-0339.
Awesome. All right, so next up we're going to go and take a tour of the facility and talk about some of the different equipment and different cardio stuff that they have set up here, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right, we are back, and we've done our opening to talk about the business and how you can find these guys, and one of the big things we're talking about is the personal training that Firm Fitness has to offer. So what sorts of qualifications do you and your staff have to be a personal trainer?
That's a great question, and I did mention I take personal training pretty seriously. So all of our trainers are either certified personal trainers or exercise physiologists, which is a 4-year degree program. So we want to make sure you're getting what you pay for it. And also, it helps with working with injuries. If you have a pre-existing injury, we want to make sure we're helping that injury, not hurting anyone.
Absolutely, and I think that's important too. Is a lot of times when people get hurt, they think, "Oh, I shouldn't be going to this gym," and that's actually the complete opposite. You really need to maintain your health and your flexibility and strength and things like that, especially throughout an injury and then after an injury, so you don't injure yourself.
Right. Very true. What I always say too, my opinion is getting out of shape is not the best for your body.
Sure.
So I think you just have to learn how to work around some of those injuries.
Absolutely. So as you can see here in the background, we have all sorts of cardiac equipment here, and We got treadmills and bikes and ellipticals, which I will not attempt to get on because I am terrible at those things. So what are some of the benefits, I guess, or pros and cons to, you know, doing the elliptical versus the treadmill?
Sure. Well, obviously both are going to give you some cardiovascular benefits on both sides. The biggest thing is when the elliptical will come in, they're low impact. They're in a circular motion. That's kind of where the elliptical comes in. So if you have bad back, knees, hips, it's going to take some of that impact off of you. You can keep your speed up, so it's going to be hard to run on a treadmill if you have a bad back.
Sure.
Keep those kind of RPMs up. But if you're on an elliptical, you can do that in a circular motion. It's going to take a lot of the impact off of you.
Right, and then you also have some steppers down there, and again, the recumbent bikes and things like that. So also, again, to sort of switch it up a little bit, because I know I get burnt out on the treadmill.
Absolutely. Yeah, we try to, you know, again, I'm big on no excuses.
Yeah.
So we want to have a little something for everybody. And yeah, if you get bored on one, you can shake it up. And it's nice to kind of keep shaking up your program so your body doesn't get too used to it.
Absolutely. So cardio is, I think, sometimes something that people like to skimp out on their workout program, but it's really important.
It is.
So I mean, it's something I think even if you're doing the weightlifting thing, that you really need to get some cardio in there too.
Yeah.
It's important to do it. Everybody's just got to start out slow.
Yeah, it's true.
We're all not built for 5Ks and 10Ks and tough
We're
runners.
almost built in a day.
Exactly. So it's important, you know, to listen to your body and to use the treadmills and the equipment based on your needs if you've had knee injuries and, like I said, and back injuries.
Right.
So next up, we're going to go over here and we're going to take a look at the free weights and some of the machines that we have to offer, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so now we're here at the racquetball courts, and you have 2 or 3 racquetball courts here?
2 racquetball.
2 racquetball courts, great. Now these are pretty busy in the evenings.
Yeah.
There's some gentlemen that come here that are pretty good at what they do.
They're intense. Yeah, they like it.
Exactly. Now I, on the other hand, am absolutely terrible at this game, but I do like to get in here every once in a while and just run around, hit the ball, and sort of pretend like I know what I'm doing. But it's a lot of fun, and you do get the heart rate going.
Yeah, it definitely burns some calories. And again, it's nice to get some cardio in without thinking about doing cardio. So
Sure.
Chasing the ball around, not thinking about running. I personally like the cardio I get here other than the treadmill because the treadmill's a little monotonous for me. So I like to not think about it.
And the next thing you know, a half hour is gone,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh,
Yeah, you can
cardio's
easily
over.
burn close to 1,000 calories playing some hard racquetball.
Yeah, and it's fun. Now, I took a racquetball class as a gym class in college, and so once upon a time I did know how to play this game.
I gotta know what your grade was.
I think it was an A, like, I think. So it was neat, to have take a gym class. I think I took a racquetball, I took scuba, and I think softball. To round out that science some of these classes. But if you don't know how to play, you can always go online.
Yeah, you can look up rules. We usually keep a log for rules here. We have like a binder that has the rules in it, or you can ask for that.
All right. Now, do you have equipment here that people can use?
Yeah, we do try to keep a few rackets, a few balls laying around. I do recommend though, if you're into it, bring your stuff just in case something got damaged or someone was using our stuff, but we don't want you to be without. So, feel free to bring. You can usually pick up a racket at Walmart, just like the one you're carrying, for about $12 to $14. So it's not too expensive.
Not bad at all, and we're always at Walmart. Now, eye protection is something that is very important here because the balls are flying all around.
They're whizzing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah,
so you definitely want to get yourself some eye protection.
Yeah, I always say nobody needs it until they get hit in the eye, and you can do some damage. So yeah, definitely better safe than sorry.
Perfect. So so here are the racquetball courts, and here to our right, we actually have a room where you have the Zumba classes and the spinning classes and all sorts of things in there. So it is covered with blinds, so the ladies, if they don't want to zoom in front of people.
Yeah, they're there for a reason.
Exactly, that you're shaking your groove thing there, and you don't want everybody to see it.
yeah, that's our aerobic studio, and we try to have a variety of classes for different types of people. Some people like the dancey type, some people more like the yoga type. We even have more of just circuit training where you kind of go station to station. We try to have a little something for everybody. We even have actually, it's not really done in the aerobics room, but we have a boot camp class that's more, a lot of times it's outside, flipping tires, dragging sleds.
I've seen those tires outside.
Yeah, so we try to have a little something for everybody. So high intensity, low intensity, so we get no excuses.
Exactly, because you've got all sorts of things for everybody. Also, outside there is a walking track that is beautiful, especially in the fall, which is coming up. And so how far around is one lap on the walking track?
One lap is 7/10 of a mile, so
Okay.
0.7.
And which is nice because you've got some hills and you've got some, straightaways, and then of course you cross by in front of that beautiful pond down there. You see all sorts of wildlife, and I think they even got some flower beds planted out there now, which is a nice addition.
Yeah, they did kind of an adopt the flower bed, so as you go around, you see some of the flower beds. And we're always trying to do fun stuff to the track, but it's really gorgeous. It's just a nice, again, with I talked about the treadmills, the monotony for me personally. So I like to go out and I can see the nature and be out in the air too.
Exactly. So after we've got our workouts in and we've Zumba'd and we've done our spinning classes and our cardio and our free weights, inside the locker room you guys also have a steam room.
Yeah, we have sauna and steam.
Sauna and steam.
Yeah, so dry heat's the sauna and the wet is the steam. It's what we call the executive workouts. People go in and pamper themselves a little bit. So yeah, it's really nice. You kind of go in there and loosen it up. Also, even the next day after a hard workout, when your muscles are a little sore and a little stiff, you can come in and just take a steam and loosen up.
Yeah, which is a really nice feature to have. And there's also inside the locker room, we got showers and lockers that you can rent out to. So again, if you want to come in before work, after work, and you've got someplace to go, you can always get your workout in and get your shower in and be on your way. Hair dryers and towels and the whole 9 yards in there.
No excuses.
No excuses. All right, so again, let's refresh everybody with how to find you. So you have a Facebook page, Firm Fitness.
Firm Fitness.
Firm Fitness. And the website you said to go to?
Probably the easiest way I've found is just to go to the olbh.com site and then go to our picture at the top. Click that and you'll find all of our information.
All right, great. So that has all the costs for the annual membership as well as the personal training and, again, the schedule for the classes, which is important because it does change. And Ryan, thank you so much for your time, and I promise that I'll see you soon on the treadmill. I've been sort of working out outside since it's been nice out.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Just as long as you're moving, we don't mind.
Exactly. When the weather gets bad, I tend to come back in here and work out on the.
You're a familiar face.
I know, yeah. But I like it though because he does keep me honest. When he hasn't seen me in a while, he lets me know. So thank you so much, and I appreciate your time. And again, stop by Firm Fitness. It's a great place to work out. Thanks.
Thank you.
At Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, our patients are priority number one. For the 7th straight year, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital has received HealthGrade's Outstanding Patient Experience Award. The hospital continues to place in the top 5% of the nation for outstanding patient experience. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital says thank you to our patients for this People's Choice honor. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, on a mission of good health for you and your family.
First and People's Bank has 6 convenient locations to serve you. From South Shore to the main office, First and People's Bank has been serving this area with complete banking services since 1932. Visit the home office near you. First and People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We are the home office. Come visit any of our 6 locations.
Hello everyone, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a sweet and spicy zucchini relish. The other day I had to actually come up with an official recipe for this segment because usually I use this as my end of the year catch-all, throw everything into one big giant bowl relish. So I use a couple different vegetables here. The main one that I use is zucchini. So you'll probably need about 4 or 5 zucchinis and some red and orange peppers, some jalapeno peppers, and some red onions, and some crushed red pepper flakes. So the official recipe that I had to come up with for TV purposes was 12 cups of zucchini. Now you will need to use a food processor here because this does have a large volume of vegetables. So I picked this up at Walmart. It was actually on clearance, so I got it at a pretty reasonable price. And you'll actually need to use the chop feature here instead of the shred. And you only need to chop your vegetables for about 4 or 5 seconds. You don't want to pulverize the vegetables. So again, this takes probably about 5 zucchinis at about this size to get your 12 cups of chopped zucchini. The next element in this recipe calls for about 6 red or orange bell peppers. They will need to be cored and seeded, and you'll just throw those away. And then you will also need to use 3 jalapeno peppers, and you will again also want to core and seed those. You want to be careful when you do this not to touch your eyes or your lips after doing that, because the oil from the peppers will stay on your hands and underneath your fingernails, so you don't want to be rubbing your eyes after that. And then throw those into the food processor, and again chop those about 4 or 5 seconds on that, and add those in here. You'll need to use 2 medium red onions. You want to peel the outer layer off of those and just core those up into about quarters and put those into your food processor. And then add those all into another bowl here. It makes a nice pretty colorful mixture of chopped vegetables. So we have our 12 cups of zucchini chopped here, and then our red onion, our red and orange bell pepper, and our jalapeno here. And then I also have 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. This will make this whole concoction here about a medium spice. So I guess if you want it to be spicier, you can add more jalapenos, or you could add another teaspoon of the crushed red pepper. But this is a pretty fair spice to this relish. So I like to have a nice balance to this relish and not make it too overpoweringly spicy. So after you do this, you're going to go ahead and mix this all together. And it seems like I never have a bowl that is big enough to handle all of my creations, but I guess the messier the better. So we're going to attempt to stir this, and we're not going to forget the red pepper flakes. And again, attempt to do this. Sometimes in this recipe, instead of zucchini, I've used yellow squash as my base. But this year in my garden, I decided to grow zucchini as opposed to the yellow squash. And I only have 1 plant of zucchini growing, and it has produced a lot of zucchini to use. And the same way goes with the yellow squash in the garden. It is a large producer, and you get, every time I go down there every couple of days, there's usually 4 or 5 zucchinis to pick out of 1 plant. So anybody who's interested in gardening, I definitely would advise that you do not have to plant several zucchini or squash plants, unless zucchini and squash is something that you really like. Then go for it. So after you get this mixed, which again might take just a little bit, get all those colors mixed in there nicely. So again, you can see there's some larger pieces of vegetables in here, and that's fine. I usually use this relish on bratwurst, which is really good, and even pulled pork sandwiches, because the sweet and the spicy makes a very good topping for a pulled pork sandwich. Some people just, a lot of people that I give this to just eat it just out of the jar. They actually like it that much, which is cool. So here's our mixture, and like I said, it's very pretty. And so for the brine that we'll be pouring on top of this relish mixture, I use Mrs. Wage's, my favorite, bread and butter pickle mixture. And this pickle mixture calls for 7 cups of granulated sugar and 6 3/4 cup of white vinegar. And so you want to go ahead and pour the vinegar and the sugar and the pickle mixture into a kettle over there on the stove, and go ahead and start to bring that to a boil. You'll be very careful whenever you start to apply heat to this mixture, because again, it is a lot of sugar, so you're going to want to stir it as you bring this to a boil so as to you don't burn the sugar on the bottom of the pan. So here in just a moment, we'll be back after a short commercial break, and we'll go ahead and load this mixture into our sterilized jars and get ready to pour the brine onto the jars, or onto the pickle mixture, excuse me. Thanks. Okay, we're back now, and I have loaded our relish mixture into our jars, and you can see how pretty it looks in there. So I have a couple of different jars here. I like to give away my pickles and my salsa and my relishes for Christmas gifts, and a lot of the people that I give it to are very nice. They bring my jars back, which is great, so that way every year I don't have to go and buy jars, because it can be relatively expensive if you have to go every year and buy your jars again. So today I have 2 different types of jars here. I have the regular mason jar with the regular top, and then I also have the wide mouth jar. So you'll definitely have to pay attention whenever you can that you have the right equipment as far as lids and rings whenever you start this whole process, because you don't want to get halfway into it and then realize, uh-oh, I don't have the right lids to go on to the right jars. So when you go to the store, you have a couple different options again. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you are buying the right product. So again, down here you will see that they have regular mouth and they also have wide mouth. This is totally up to you which one you like to use. I guess you could say I don't really have a preference. I guess whenever I do my salsas and things like that, I tend to use the regular mouth ones a little bit more readily. The wide mouth ones, I like to use those for jams and jellies and things like that, because it is a messy process. And so I think whenever it has a wider mouth, we can sort of get all that stuff jammed down in there with less mess. Anytime you have stuff like that, when there's mess involved, anytime you can use a wide mouth funnel to sort of eliminate all of the stuff going down in there and getting on top of the rims of the jars, that is also a nice feature to have. So you can buy the lids and the bands together, or you can buy them separately. So again, here's the 2 examples. You can have the regular mouth and the wide mouth lids. So we will be using both today since I have both jars. And then also the regular mouth and the wide mouth bands. Another product too is these dissolvable labels, which are nice to use whenever you're giving these products away for Christmas gifts or just to your neighbors, so that you can write on the jars what product you're giving them. And then when they put them in the dishwasher to wash them for you before they give them back to you, your jars, these labels do come off in the dishwasher. Also, a nice book to have if canning is something that you'd like to pick up as a hobby is this blue book, Guide to Preserving. I think I picked this up at Lowe's, which is also where you find all these products and jars and whatnot. This book has everything that you need to know about the process, different recipes, about the jars, and everything from A to Z that you would want to know about canning. You can find this book here, and it's just something nice to know as a reference guide. So we have loaded our jars with our relish, and so now I'm going to be taking them over here to my brine that I have just about ready to boil, and also I have turned on my hot water canner bath, and it is also about ready to boil. So here in just a moment we'll be back and we'll be loading our hot brine onto our relish. We're back, and now my brine is just about ready to boil, and the hot water canner bath is boiling now. I also have placed my lids in a small pot here in the back, and I have it just on simmer so that they are warm, not too hot. And I also have a pot here with extra hot water, just in case that there is not enough water to cover the jars whenever we place them into the hot water canner. So I'm going to go ahead and dip up the brine and put onto the relish mixture carefully. And just so you know, you will make a mess. You want to leave about a ½ inch headspace. Headspace is the distance between the top of the relish mixture and the top of the jar. This recipe, actually, you will not use a whole lot of brine. One of the things that I forgot to mention earlier is that whenever you are loading the food into the jars, you do not want to pack this stuff down in there very, I guess, compact, because you will not get the brine to sort of mingle in around there. That was a mistake I made when I first did this recipe. So you live and you learn. So you'll take your wet washcloth and you will wipe the brine from around the jar lids so that your lids will stick. Just a little bit more brine on this one. And you can tell we are in my home kitchen because my dogs are wrestling in the background. Again. Also, another thing too, that whenever you get your jars, even if you're buying them brand new, or if you are fortunate enough to get them back from the people that you have given your goods to, you always want to inspect the jar lids to make sure that there is no cracks in them, because sometimes that will prevent them from sealing properly. You grab your magnet and get your lids out. This first batch I'm doing the wide mouth lids. Ouch. And place the lids on top of the jars. Take our wide mouth rings, put them on jars, finger tight. You don't have to be He-Man or She-Ra or whoever you want to be. She-Ra, I'm starting to show my age here. Sure, fewer people will know who that is. All right. Get your oven mitt and take the lid off of your canner carefully. And take your jars, carefully set them into your canner. Brine has my eyes watering. Make sure that you have enough space around your jars for even circulation. Currently, right now, I don't, so I'm going to move my jars around a little bit. Go ahead and lower our jars into the hot water bath. You want to make sure that there is at least 1 inch of water over top of your jars, and there is. Go ahead and place your lid back on And when your water returns to a boil, you want to process pints for 10 minutes and quarts for 15 minutes. So go ahead and set the timer, and we'll be back in just a minute. We're back, and my pint jars have processed 10 minutes, so I'm ready to go ahead and take them out of their hot water bath. So I'm going to carefully remove them. Yeah, and they got heavier. And I'm going to go ahead and get these jars out of here. I want to dump some of the hot water off the top. You want to allow 24 hours for these jars to cool, and then to check to see if they have sealed. You will know that they have sealed if you hear them actually pop. But if you're not around to hear that sound, you will also see that the dimple on the lid has actually pulled down into the jar. If your jar, which one just sealed? If your jar has not sealed, you can go ahead and put that jar into the refrigerator and go ahead and consume that jar right away within the next couple of weeks. So we're going to go ahead and put the lid back on our canner so it doesn't lose heat, and put the remaining brine into our remaining jars, and be back in just a moment. We're back. We went ahead and placed our remaining 6 pints of zucchini relish into our canner, and we're going to go ahead and wait the 10 minutes to go ahead and process those. So I'll go ahead and recap the recipe for you. To make our sweet and spicy zucchini relish, you're going to need 12 cups of chopped zucchini. You will need 6 red or orange bell peppers, which will need to be cored and seeded. You will need 2 medium red onions and 3 jalapeno peppers, which you will also need to go ahead and core and seed. I used a food processor, and I used that on the chop function of that. And again, you'll need to use that function for about 4 or 5 seconds. You don't need to pulverize these vegetables. I think the coarser the vegetable, it makes a little bit better relish, and it stays crisp once you've processed it. You will need to use the bread and butter pickle package from Mrs. Wages for your brine, which calls for 7 cups of sugar and 6 3/4 cups of white vinegar. To go ahead and use that. Also for the relish, I almost forgot the most important part of that, you will need 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, which adds a little bit of heat to your relish, which makes a really nice sweet and spicy addition to that. So I use this for bratwurst, and I use it for pulled pork sandwiches, which is really, really good. It makes a really pretty relish for your backyard barbecue and picnics, which is nice, and it's been a hit. And so I hope you will enjoy this recipe. And don't be afraid to add different things to this. Zucchini makes a really nice base for this recipe, but if you want to add carrots to it, if you want to add yellow squash, if you want to add garlic, just feel free. You can go ahead and experiment with this. If you want to add a little bit of extra heat and add more jalapeno peppers or banana peppers or anything you want, just go ahead and experiment. And that's one of the really neat things about canning, is that you can't go wrong, and your neighbors and your friends are usually a pretty good forum to sort of try out the different recipes, and so it's a neat thing to sort of get involved in. And I hope you enjoy this recipe, and I appreciate any feedback that you guys have. And tune in next time for another great recipe. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Bronson Bush, and you're watching the Greenup Beacon Video News Magazine on greenupbeacon.com.
everyone, I'm Brittnany Hoback, and today I'm here at L Massage with Lonnie Winters, the owner and your massage therapist. How are you today, Lonnie?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. So how long have you been a massage therapist here with this business?
With this business, I've only been here since November of 2013, but I've actually been a licensed massage therapist for almost 10 years.
Oh wow, so you've worked with, you know, have you been on your own this whole time, or have you worked with different, you know, physicians?
I've only been on my own a couple years. I've worked in chiropractic offices. I've worked side by side with surgeons because I took a surgical tech program in 2009 just so I could understand back pain a little better.
Okay, great. So you've been at this location, this new location here at the Bellefonte Pavilion, right next to Firm Fitness. You've been at this location since, you said November?
Since November, yes.
Okay. And you were downtown, am I correct?
Yes, I was at a couple places downtown, but I found that the difficulty with my clients parking and some of the noises, the street noise downtown, really was an issue.
Sure.
So I started looking around and I found this place, and it was occupied at the time, but I just waited that out and I finally got in here last year.
That's great. Which is nice being right next to a gym so that, you know, get those hard workouts in. They're like, oh, I could really go for a massage.
That's the important part, because massage therapy is just part of rehabilitation.
Sure.
Now, it's great that I can send them to a personal trainer afterwards where they can do their stretching, do their strengthening exercises, really bounce out the issues that they have.
Sure, absolutely. So you talked about the different certification that you had with the surgeon, but what type of schooling do you go to become a massage therapist?
There's used to be several locations. Lately, they've all closed down. There's still one, I think, in Cross Lanes, West Virginia. I went to Collins Career Center in Chesapeake, Ohio. Okay. Which is a one-year program, 1,000 hours, which allows you to set for the Ohio board. So I'm licensed in Ohio as well as Kentucky.
Okay, so so massage therapy actually does have a board exam too.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh wow, I did not know that. So you learn something new every day.
Yes, and actually 45 states so far.
Oh,
Just
great.
5 more.
So that they're kind of waiting on to sort of get on board with the certification.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that that's nice. I think it keeps everybody honest, and you know, really make sure that you understand the core principles behind, you know, what you're doing.
Absolutely. That's important because there are several contraindications.
Sure.
For massage, like take deep vein thrombosis. You don't want to apply much pressure to the legs or the areas that may contain that, because that could release a blood clot and it could really do some very, very damaging.
Sure, absolutely. So I mean, it's really important, like I said, to know all these different health concerns that are, you know, are out there, because you are considered, you know, an alternative mode for therapy, or, you know, as an adjunct to sort of work with physicians and work with the surgeons to sort of restore that normal form and function. And I think massage and acupuncture and all those other alternative forms are underutilized for sure. Because I actually went to an osteopathic medical school and graduated from there, and I don't practice medicine, but as an osteopath, you spend about 1,600 more hours focusing on the body and the musculoskeletal system and just the interrelationship of form and function, and about how important that is. And you know, everybody, I think, in today's society wants to take a pill and think they're fixed.
Yes.
And that's a very bad misconception, that, you know, you really need to employ these different things with the physical training and then also the massage and all these other modalities to sort of, you know, to get a broad scoop of everything and then get your body back into its normal working condition.
Right. Actually, the best medication, I think, naturally is water. Like, you hydrate your muscles, they will become looser, more pliable, easier to work, and it has several effects on the organs, everything.
Sure. And water is something that I definitely never get enough of. It's so hard. I mean, and I just don't really like the taste of water, but I've been trying to hydrate a lot better, because it is important, because we're made up of water, and you know, it's better for our skin, and of course our body, and then the healing process as well. So what are some of the major benefits for massage therapy?
Well, a lot of the benefits comes down to basically 2 basic ones, relaxation and circulation. The circulation, like say diabetes. You have diabetes, with the circulation, it actually improves the cell insulin intake.
Okay.
It makes it a lot easier to.
Sure. So whenever you go in there and you're massaging the muscles and things like that, you're sort of loosening up all that any scar tissue that they may have or whatever, and it sort of gets the blood flowing down into those places, and then of course then takes the toxins back out, which is important.
Basically what massage does, it makes the body work better and makes the body work faster.
Sure.
So anything I do, like they say that you're not supposed to drink alcohol before a massage because it'll have an effect a lot quicker if you do.
Sure.
Same with the hangover.
Yeah, same with a hangover. Not a good thing to do. So I guess let's talk just a little bit about your typical patient, or what is the most common complaint that your patients have?
Low back pain.
Low back pain.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a big one. I think everybody across the board experiences back pain at some point in their life. And so how exactly would you treat that low back pain patient?
Well, I actually have a protocol I do. Like one client I have has lumbar stenosis. So he comes in, I have him face up, I move his ankles around, make his hip move back and forth to see if I can determine tonicity and where I need to work. I'll work on releasing his hip flexors, and then I'll turn him on the side and I'll work on his like IT band, his quads, his hams, just all of this. And then I'll get to his hips, work on the piriformis, the gluteus medius, all the lateral rotators of the hip, depending if his foot is out to the side. I know that the lateral rotators are tight and they need to be addressed. And then I'll actually get to the low back pain last.
Yeah, which is, like I said, it's a very interesting approach, is that you don't really think that you're just treating just back pain, that, oh, we're just going to focus on just massaging this low back area, that there's all of those different components, because lots of times when we have back pain, we tend to walk differently, or even maybe walking differently, or having a knee injury or an uneven leg or something like that is what is causing our back pain. And if you can release those muscles and lengthen them and all that stuff, that you can then eliminate the cause for the back pain. Right. Which is, like I said, a lot of people do not think that. I think we'll just go right to the back pain, we'll take our pill for it, and then we'll be good. But really, there's so much other things involved.
And that's what I try to do. I try to educate my clients as much as to massage them.
Sure.
Try to get them to recognize their patterns.
Sure, and yeah, especially, and even like with the neck pain thing like that, with the women with the heavy purses, that's a big, it's a big issue, because you pound 30 pounds in those things and lug them around, and then like, oh, my neck hurts.
And I'll notice when they walk in, their shoulders will be like off.
Exactly.
It's like you carry a purse on your right, don't you? Don't you know that?
Like, well, exactly. You're drooping on that side a little bit. So there's a couple different techniques in massage, and then, so there's the Swedish massage, correct?
That's the most basic massage you would see on television. If you go to spas, if they offer full body massages, usually 90% of the time it's Swedish.
Okay, and then you also have the deep tissue massage.
That would be several Swedish massage techniques that you would apply at a different approach. Mainly it's the speed. The deeper you go, the slower you go. You spread out the muscle, you cross fiber the muscle. You're basically working in a couple different areas for the overall. Swedish is more just broad, the whole thing.
The overall massage. Yes. So, and then also one I think that's probably very popular, or getting popular this time of year because of the football and cross country and things like that are going on right now, is the sports massage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's, with the knee injuries and of course the back pain and everything else.
And it's injury prevention, it's performance enhancement. There's several different types of sports massage. Like there's pre-event, that's a shorter session that I would just work on the target muscles they're going to be using for that event. Anywhere from 48 hours to 15 minutes before the event.
Okay, wow. Yeah.
And the post-event massage is when they're cooling down, when I'm actually assessing what they've worked on and try to figure out when they're working again to determine how deep I can go on them. Because I don't want to go deep and then mess up their game.
Absolutely. Now I saw on your Facebook page where I was following you is that you have a couple events where you've done at the golf courses. Because, improving this flexibility and range of motion is a big deal for a golfer.
Oh, yeah.
So massage therapy can definitely help with that.
Sure. I'm certified in golf flexibility therapy, which I just do a simple assessment to see what muscles are indicated in the golf swing. And I write that down and I just work on those muscles, and I do that over a period of 5 weeks.
Okay.
And it's mainly the low back because of the hip rotation. but that's pretty popular.
Oh, I'd say it is.
And,
everyone's very intense about their golf swing and their golf game. I don't play, but I mean I know that it's a pretty serious sport to the boys that are out there doing it and keeping that score under a certain number. So let's just talk briefly about where people can find you. So you are located here at the Bellefonte Pavilion, and it's right down from Firm Fitness. And then what is your phone number if we're going to call and make an appointment?
You can call me or you can text me at 606-694-1014.
Okay.
And I work by appointment, so you can text me any day of the week. I work Monday through Saturday, anywhere from 9 a.m. until I take my last appointment at 7 p.m.
Oh, so you got an all day.
Yeah.
So,
and I live close, so.
So exactly. So if someone then were to text you and say, I'd like an appointment at 4:30 or at 5, then you just, all right, pencil you in and you come right over, which is nice. You don't have to be here the whole entire day just here for the the appointments, which is nice. Right. So you offer a couple of different options. I saw on your Facebook page is that you do have gift certificates available.
Yes.
So I know, especially with my husband, he is not someone who's going to come down here and make an appointment just because that's just not his style. But I am going to make him an appointment before I leave here today because his neck has really been bothering him, and I think that he would benefit from that. But the gift certificates are nice for Christmas presents and birthday presents and things like that. So
and there may be a Christmas special coming up, but the only way you'll know about it is on my Facebook page.
Exactly, and that is El Massage, correct, on Facebook. And he's got a lot of really nice articles on there too. The benefits of massage therapy, the different types of massage.
There's a really good one on there about water intake and how important it is, how it goes through the entire system. It's a great read.
Especially for after your massage, well, before and then of course after your massage, sort of once you've broken up all those toxins and bad things to sort of flush them out of the system. So definitely find him on Facebook, and again, he's located here at Bellefonte Pavilion, and that way on Facebook you can find out. I know you post free appointments that are the ones that are available, and like I'm here from such and such time and such and such time. If anybody wants the 3 o'clock appointment, just let me know. So it's a great way to stay, in touch with you.
There was one other thing I wanted to talk about. A lot of people ask me in their weary massage because they think they have to get completely disrobed. That's not true. It's their comfort level. If they want to stay fully clothed, I can work on them for an hour through their clothing. I cannot use the same techniques that I would in certain other modalities, but I can do that. And if their comfort level is completely naked, they'll be under the sheet the entire time. I will not see anything except for the parts I'm working on.
Sure, and that's an important factor. A lot of times people are shy about coming, in to get a massage. I, on the other hand, am not. I love getting massage. I would get one at the time, and I even think there's an article on your Facebook page about someone who does get them once a week and how they make that a priority.
Anybody can afford a massage if they really want one.
Exactly, because there's a lot of other junk we spend our money on, and she was talking about how it was nice that she's actually penciled in that time for relaxation and how important it was to her lifestyle and keeping healthy. Yes, so thank you so much, Lonnie. We really appreciate the interview. And again, El Massage here at Bellefonte Pavilion. Thank you.
Stoltz Pharmacy is now offering patients compounding for their prescription needs. Stoltz Pharmacy is the only pharmacy in the area that is PCCA certified. We can provide you with hormone replacement, neuropathy creams, scar creams, pediatric prescriptions, and we can even help you with your veterinarian needs. If you have any questions, please call 606-834-1052. That's 834-1052. Stoltz Pharmacy in Greenup, Flatwoods, and Wheelersburg. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stoltz Pharmacy.
Thank you to our guests, Tim Baldridge from Captain Hook Towing and the I-64 Motorplex, Ryan Arnett from Firm Fitness at Bellefonte Pavilion, and Lonnie Winters from El Massage, also located at Bellefonte Pavilion. I want to also extend a special thank you to Keith Adkins, our producer, and my co-host, Hank Bond.
This is the Greenup Beacon Video News Magazine, a presentation of the Greenup Beacon Media Group and First and People's Bank and Trust. Also brought to you by Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, Buddy Gallion and Greenup County EMS, and Carmen Funeral Home. The Greenup Beacon Video News Magazine is hosted by Brittnany Hoback with co-host Hank Bond. It is directed and produced by Keith Adkins. This is an exclusive presentation of the Greenup Beacon Media Group, available only at greenupbeacon.com and greenupbeacon2.com.
You are watching a Beacon Media production.